and stream KCBS.
Good morning. I'm Margie Schaefer.
And I'm Eric Thomas. First up, a check on KCBS traffic with Kim Wonderly.
We're always live and local on your smart speaker.
Yeah, traffic's been relatively well behaved, but we're starting to see some of these commutes fill in.
Tell your smart speaker to play KCBS Radio.
Join us at Odyssey as we all do our one thing. Together, millions of things for our planet. Raise a fine glass of wine to your sweetheart and the environment. First, don't get hung up on packaging. Many great wines now come in boxes, which produce half the overall emissions that bottles do. Also, cardboard is just as easily recycled as glass. Finally, look for estate wines, where all grapes are grown on the vineyard and not trucked in from distant locations. When we each share our one thing, it becomes 100 things, 1,000 things, 1,000,000 things for our planet. What's your one thing?
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM at HD1 San Francisco. An Odyssey station.
Good morning! Yeah.
It's time to wake up. It's 5, and we're live.
Oh, is this thing on? I don't care. I want him to hear.
This is the Pregame Show, your early morning shot of sports on 95.7 The Game.
Come on!
Oh, yes. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is the Pregame Show with Joe Spadoni on this wonderful Wednesday here in the Bay Area, downtown San Francisco. Hello to all of you getting off work, getting ready for work, getting ready for school, getting off a late night. Maybe you're partying on a Tuesday night. You do you. Maybe you're getting ready for a trip, what have you. Thank you for joining me, however you're doing it. Whether it's via the Odyssey app, be sure to download that if you haven't. Favorite 95.7 The Game. Whether it's YouTube, hello, Twitch, be sure to like and subscribe. And be sure to hit me up at 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570. Call or text the Xfinity Mobile text line. It's all available right here, right now. And we have a lot to get into today, and we're going to start with what took place last night in Los Angeles.
Westbrook looking for James. He's got it. LeBron James, a shot at history. LeBron stands alone. The NBA's all-time scoring record now belongs to LeBron James.
Brian Anderson, the call on TNT. Yeah, it was a fadeaway jumper for LeBron James with 10.9 seconds left in the third quarter. In a game that the Lakers would eventually lose, and I'll get into that in just a second, don't you worry. But fadeaway jumper there for LeBron James to move to 38,387 career points. And he entered the game with 38,352, needing just 36 to take over for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Finished the night with 38 points on 13 of 20 shooting, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals. And he is the new record holder, number 1 scorer in the history of the association. So, listen, congrats to LeBron. It's a hell of an achievement. It's a hell of an accomplishment. A record that I'm not sure will be broken again in my lifetime, but you never know. Got guys like Luka Doncic scoring the way they're scoring. I just don't think we'll ever see another guy with the longevity and the elite play at such a high age like we're seeing with LeBron James. I think he's a physical freak. I think he's one of one, and I don't think we'll see it again. Could be wrong. I'm sure many people thought that, what was it? 1984, the last time the scoring record was broken, and that was with Kareem passing Wilt. So I'm sure people back then thought, I don't think this record's going to be broken in my lifetime. But that was start at the three-point shot. Eventually guys were going to start chucking those things. Didn't start really until the last 10 years, but they started chucking them nonetheless. Kareem obviously finished his career with just 1 made 3. LeBron a lot more than that. So congratulations to LeBron. It's a hell of an achievement. And here's what LeBron had to say after breaking the record.
Thank you to the Laker faithful. You guys are one of a kind. To be able to be in the presence of such a legend and great as Kareem, it means so much to me. It's very humbling. Please give a standing ovation to the captain, please. To my beautiful wife, my daughter, my 2 boys, my friends, my boys, my family, my mother, everybody that's ever been a part of this run with me the last 20 years, 20 plus years. I just want to say I thank you so much because I wouldn't be me without y'all. All y'all help, all y'all passion, all y'all sacrifices helped me get to this point. And to the NBA, to Adam Silver, to the late, great David Stern, I thank you guys so much for allowing me to be a part of something I've always dreamed about. And I would never, ever in a million years dreamt this even better than what it is tonight.
LeBron James on becoming the all-time scorer in the history of the National Basketball Association. So, LeBron does that. What do the Lakers do? Enough of flowers for LeBron right now. He got enough of them last night. And you would think that the Lakers won the game, right? You would have thought that. Huh. All this adulation, I'm seeing it right now on Get Up, on ESPN, on all the different channels, all the different websites. Oh, it's great. You lost the game. 133-130 to the Oklahoma City Thunder. A night after the Thunder just got destroyed at Chase Center. They were coming onto the road down in Los Angeles. A game in which everyone was watching because of LeBron and the record chase. And you go out there, Darvin Ham, Anthony Davis, Russell Westbrook, LeBron James, and you lose. Just par for the course for this team this season. LeBron having an all-time year and being 5 games under 500. It's really just, makes me sick. And I get it. It's a big accomplishment for LeBron. You stopped the game. You did all that. The happiness after the game in a loss, it rubbed me the wrong way. It really did. And you could be, well, maybe Spadoni, you're just being salty. You know, you're being too emotional about this. You're a fan of the team. What? I don't even care about that. When Kobe Bryant had his last game and he dropped 60, did the Mamba out thing, you know what? They won that game. If they hadn't, maybe Kobe still would have done the speech. It wouldn't have meant as much, though. And Kobe, what did he care about? Winning. He's the greatest Los Angeles Laker of my lifetime, and I think he's the greatest Laker of all time. Just going by impact. Two-way player. You can have your Kareems, your Magic Johnsons. Kobe's the guy. And, you know, something rubbed me the wrong way last night watching that entire team basically celebrate in a loss for one guy. I get it. Have your speech. Have your moment. Get back into the game and win that freaking thing. You're out of the play-in game right now. You have Anthony Davis and LeBron James, and you're not even going to make the play-in game. Might as well just blow it up at this point. You got the trade deadline tomorrow, and we'll have all your coverage all week right here on 95.7 The Game leading up to it. Don't you go anywhere. Tim Kawakami's going to be in studio tomorrow with the Morning Roast leading up to that, so that should be exciting. We'll be breaking it all down today and tomorrow. The NBA trade deadline Thursday. And if you're the Lakers, you got just blow it up. It's just par for the course for this team. Having an awesome moment and it being ruined because you can't beat the freaking Josh Giddey-led Oklahoma City Thunder. What a joke. It's an absolute joke. Listen, I'm not here to crush LeBron. He had a hell of a game. He did his thing. 13 of 20, 4 of 6 from three-point land, 38 points. He was a +8. They ended up losing by 3. So he needed to play the entire game for them to win, basically. Played 34 minutes. Anthony Davis, 13 points. Okay. Against a team that doesn't really have great size, you couldn't do more than that. No, you're coming back from an injury, but you need to start stacking some W's if you're going to be in this thing. And again, Lakers are 25-30. And if you just start looking at the Western Conference, and if you're a Warriors fan, you love that last thing. Oh, yeah, LeBron, have fun. That was great fun. Yeah, watching that. How are you guys doing in the standings again? Oh yeah. Forgot you're almost dead last. You're 13th. Feel like Shooter McGavin and Happy Gilmore. Oh yeah, how'd he shoot again? Oh yeah, dead last. Oh yeah, he had a great day though. Oh yeah, he had a great day. Broke the all-time scoring record. Oh, that's great. Oh, they caught the L? Oh, that's too bad. It's just, ugh. Can we talk about the game? You lost. And one of the greatest moments in your career and in the history of the NBA, if not the greatest moment and greatest record being broken, you lose to the Oklahoma City Thunder. You kidding me? And the amount of happiness and joy from a lot of the players after the game, LeBron, I don't get it. Are you just that like caring about your individual stats at this point? I get it. Big deal. In the moment, take the break. After the game, you better be pissed that you lost. You better be pissed. I didn't see enough of that last night. Sure as hell didn't see it from LeBron doing all these speeches after the game. Darvin Ham, what are you doing? Supposed to be some defensive expert? When the Thunder drop 133 on you? Please. Miss me with that. 510, Xfinity Mobile Text Line. Clean haircut, Spadoni. Snip, snip, clean, clean. Appreciate you watching on YouTube, Twitch, what have you. Thank you, 510. But come on. Was Draymond at the game? Didn't see him. Wouldn't be surprised if he flew in or not. Was expecting him to be courtside. I saw some of the celebrities there. Shannon Sharp was there. Saw him. Not the same cardigan. Different sweatshirt. That was probably worth $3,000. Bad Bunny was in the studio, in the arena. He's probably in the studio earlier. Love me some Bad Bunny. Wearing a green Los Angeles Dodgers hat. Thought he was rocking the A's, but I digress. But just, maybe I'm being salty here, folks, at 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570. But celebrating all that even after a loss, it's a real problem in our society. And I'm going to be the old man on the porch right now, yelling at the cloud, what have you. But win the freaking game. My God. Before we start with all this love and adoration, win the game. Please. Can you do that? I'm not seeing it anywhere. LeBron James break this. LeBron James breaks that. Right there. LeBron passes Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to become the all-time leading scorer. Great. They lost. And you know what? He's going to break the record in a season where you're not even going to make the playoffs or the play-ins. You're going to be lumped in with the other two worst teams in the Western Conference. That being the Spurs and the Rockets. Now, maybe they make a trade. Maybe things change. But in a season, in the last two seasons that have been incredibly underwhelming, not just in the standings and not making the playoffs, but if you're a betting man too, that was one of the all-time collapses last year when you had a odds-on favorite to be in the Western Conference Finals and you don't even make the playoffs or play-ins, that being the Los Angeles Lakers. Well on your way for doing that again. Well on your way. 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570. LeBron James becomes the NBA's all-time leading scorer. We're talking about that. Talking about the Lakers' inability to win in big game situations yet again. Happened last night as they took the 133-130 L to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Good news for the Warriors. They're still locked in at the 7 seed right now at 28-26. And the Nuggets still leading the way at the class of the conference, 38-17. Quest for the Warriors. Can they keep it rolling tonight against the Trail Blazers? Coverage of that starts with Warriors Live at 6 o'clock right here on 95.7 The Game. John Dickinson will get you all started for that before tossing it over to the great Tim Roy and Jim Barnett, who will be on the call right here on 95.7 The Game. Should be a fun matchup. Dame and co. No Steph, but Dame Dalla, local guy. We all got love for Dame. Shout out Oakland, California. Love that guy. Love what he's about. His brand. Don't think he's ever going to win up there. I know he's been sticking it through there. Trying to build a contender around that player just hasn't worked. For Portland, Don't think it's going to work. He's getting older now. Dame, I know you like to stay there, but if you ever thought about winning a championship, might want to part ways with that franchise. But I give him all the credit in the world for wanting to stay in an era where leaving is the first option for a lot of guys. So we'll have all that coverage for you leading up to that game right here on 95.7 The Game. Again, the Warriors, Jordan Poole, let's keep the consistency going. You heard a lot of praise from Draymond Green and Steve Kerr after the game and after the win a couple days ago. So keep those assists up. Don't look to score all the time. You don't need to do that when you got guys like Klay Thompson and Fuego. Draymond Green facilitating, keeping it controlled in defensive end. Andrew Wiggins, if he can get that shot back, get that confidence back, looks like he could be coming back around after being sick and after having the adductor strain. That defense is coming around, which is even more important, I think, because the defense, that'll come most clutch come playoff time, and that was what the difference was in the playoffs last year, was Andrew Wiggins' defense, his ability to guard guys like Tatum and Brown and Doncic. He was huge. He was absolutely massive, and that would be a huge boost again for this team heading down the stretch when they need him. They need him. They have 4 more games before the All-Star break. Blazers, the aforementioned Los Angeles Lakers this Saturday at Chase. You got the Wizards on Monday, and then a back-to-back against the Clippers at the Crypt next Tuesday. So, time to get fat and happy. Blazers aren't very good. And I know the Warriors, record-wise, aren't very good either. Beat that team. Lakers, please. They just lost to the Thunder team that you destroyed. Wizards, not good. Clippers, that'll be a fun little test. No Steph, obviously, but I'm looking at 3-1 now in these remaining 4 games that you should be going. 3-1. And if you're a Warriors fan, I think you take that at this point. Go 31-27 at the break. You're going to feel pretty good about your odds about making the playoffs, and not making the play-ins. You're going to feel pretty good. Shout out Larry David. Curb your enthusiasm. 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570. Continuing to react to LeBron James becoming the NBA's all-time scoring leader, surpassing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And again, here's how it sounded on TNT last night.
Westbrook looking for James. He's got it. LeBron James, a shot at history. LeBron stands alone. The NBA's all-time scoring record now belongs to LeBron James.
There you go. Call courtesy of TNT. Brian Anderson on it. 510 Xfinity Mobile text line. Dude, you're on the Warriors flagship. F the Lakers. I'm happy for LeBron, but F the Lakers. Biggest moment in sports last night, 510. Gotta talk about it. You'll be hearing it on all the shows today right here on 95.7 The Game. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. It's a big story. Whether you like LeBron, whether you like the Lakers or not, it was the biggest story in sports and was one of the biggest storylines in sports all season long, and it culminated finally in a loss to the Oklahoma City Thunder last night. 925, Xfinity Mobile text line. Appreciate you. Worst morning sports radio show in the history of sports radio or mornings. Appreciate you, 925, for listening. Thank you. 707. 73-9, and they didn't win the championship. That's a great record. And we're going to talk about great records. And let me hear them at 888-957-9570. 888-957-9570. Xfinity Mobile text line. Most unbreakable records ever. I'm not sure that this one's the most unbreakable ever, but it's just fun to start going through some of those lists. And I don't know if that 73-9 team, if that'll ever be broken. Possibly. I don't know if we'll ever see a collection of elite talent at their height and peak like we did with that Warriors team, with Kevin Durant, with Steph Curry, with Klay Thompson, with Draymond Green, with Iguodala, all those guys. I don't think we'll ever see a collection of talent like that again. And I don't know if we'll ever see a record be broken like we saw in 2016. Now, I know Kevin Durant wasn't there for the record-breaking season, but you get what I'm saying. I don't think we'll ever see a run like that in NBA history again. Super teams, I think, for the most part, have been kind of a dud, other than the Warriors and the Miami Heat. Look at the Clippers right now, what they're trying to do. Not really working. Lakers, you ain't got the bubble chip, you got one. But when you get a super team like that, you're thinking at least 2, hopefully 3. And in the last 13 years, it's been just 4. If you're going by just the super teams and their championship totals, 2 for the Heat and 2 for the Warriors. So 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570. What's your favorite record in sports? What's your most hallowed sports record? What do you think is the most incredible unbreakable record in the history of sports? Jerry Rice, you can go. We got a lot here in the Bay. We got a lot of names, and I'll start going through them. Jerry Rice, one of them. Played for both teams when both 2 teams were still here in the Bay Area, that being the Niners and the Raiders. 22,895 receiving yards. It's all time. The next active leader currently, Julio Jones at 13,406. The only guy that was able to even come close would have been Larry Fitzgerald. He retired. Then you got the hockey enthusiast, shout out to Sharks, Scar. Wayne Gretzky, 1,963 career assists. And if you were to take away every single goal that he ever scored in his career, he'd still lead the NHL in total points on assists alone. That is incredible. Active leader in assists in hockey, 899 for Sid the Kid Crosby over in Pittsburgh. And then you get into some of the older ones where it's just like, this is ridiculous. Cy Young, 749 complete games. You kidding me? The active leader in that is Adam Wainwright at 28. Then you go Wilt Chamberlain averaging 50 points in a single season and through 1961 and 1962. Unreal. James Harden, he averaged 36 points per game in 2018, 2019. That was an incredible season, but 50? You kidding me? I mean, in today's game, you probably could get a guy if you just played every single game and just took all the shots. You're probably not going to win a lot. Like Wilt was winning a lot back then, but hey. Boston Celtics, 8 straight NBA titles. That's not going to be broken. Simone Biles, 19 World Gymnastics gold medals. It's pretty incredible. Olympics is weird, though. You get those phenoms every now and then, like a Simone Biles, like a Michael Phelps. You get these phenoms, Shaun White and snowboarding, stuff like that. So that could be broken. Cal Ripken's 2,632 consecutive games played in baseball. That's not getting broken. Not with the amount of platooning and sports rest, science, what have you. That's not getting broken. The active leader in the Major League Baseball currently is Matt Olson at 296. Matty Olson. There you go. Then you got some college records that are fun. The 111-game winning streak for the UConn women's basketball team. Gino Auriemma. It's credible what that team and that coach has been able to accomplish the last 20-plus years. And then again, I mentioned it. Ricky Henderson, 1,406 career stolen bases. Just incredible. That's never going to be broken again because, let's face it, the stolen base is a lost art now. But it's nice to have a couple Bay Area leaders there. Obviously, the home run record with Barry Bonds and 73 in a season, too. You can go multiple. 762 all time and then 73 in a season. So you got, just here in the Bay alone, Jerry Rice, Ricky Henderson, Barry Bonds, Steph Curry, all-time three-point champion as well. So the Bay runs pretty much most of the important records in sports, and it's pretty incredible. And we're lucky here to be able to celebrate and have winners like all those guys. The only one of those guys not to even win a championship was Barry Bonds, and hell, I think he's the greatest baseball player of all time, and at least in my lifetime. So just unreal. Again, LeBron James passing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in all-time scoring last night in a 133-130 loss. We're talking about records in sports right here on the pregame show. If you'd like to get involved, it's 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570. Getting a lot on the Xfinity Mobile text lines. Some of your favorite records that'll probably not be broken. Stockton assists, 15,806 from the 415. That's a good one. That's a good one. Getting more Ricky Henderson, single season and all-time. DiMaggio, 56-game hitting streak. I think eventually that will be broken. It just, right matchups, it happens, and a player can get hot. I think that could be broken. I know we've been saying that now for whatever it's been, 60, 70 plus years, but I think the hitting streak eventually gets broken. It's so impressive, though. It really is. Nolan Ryan's 5,714 strikeouts. Absolutely. Nolan Ryan. Guy's a badass. Guy was pitching into his 40s with nothing but heaters. Legend. Man. LeBron James. It is pretty incredible. Just to reflect on that. 38,387 points. It was broken. That's a lot of points, ladies and gentlemen. Been watching LeBron James for a better part of 20 years now. Don't take these guys for granted. And I know, I already saw the text this morning. Why are you talking about this team? Why are you talking about that player? It's a big deal. It's a big deal, whether you like them or not. And the Warriors have pretty much owned LeBron for his career anyway, so I don't know why you would be really that salty about it. I get it, the player, the love and adoration he gets. It's fine. We've beaten him multiple times in finals. 2016 hurts. Got over it. Whooped the Cavs' ass the next 2 years. So, yes, we'll continue to talk about it on the other side. We got a little Super Bowl talk. And from one generational talent to another, Patrick Mahomes, is he ready to etch himself into NFL lore and becoming one of the greatest, if not the greatest quarterback in the history of the NFL? I'll explain on the other side why one analyst thinks that's the case if he gets the dub this Sunday in Glendale, Arizona over against the Philadelphia Eagles. 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570. If you would like to get involved, Xfinity mobile text line, YouTube, Twitch, hit me up on Twitter at Spadoni_Joe. This is the pregame show. Joe Spadoni, 95.7 The Game.
If you're considering remodeling your home in 2023, talk with your architect or designer about utilizing Golden State Window and Door for your upcoming project. Each location across the Bay Area features beautifully planned displays. You'll be surprised by the variety of styles. Their respected partners include Anderson, Milgard, Marvin, and many other top brands. For locations, images, and more, visit goldenstatelumber.com. Since 1954, Golden State. When you succeed, we succeed.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information. Subscription required.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 90% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to 4hims.com/joy. At Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the biggest brands at 90% off. That's right, get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but 90% cheaper. It's the same medication you get from your doctor, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/joy. That's 4hims.com/joy for your free online visit. FORHIMS.com/JOY.
DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 57, has all the Super Bowl action. New customers can bet just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, all customers can get in on the Super Bowl 57 excitement with DraftKings Happy Hour Super Boosts. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use promo code VENTURE. New customers can bet $5 on Super Bowl 57 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's code Venture. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 57. 21 and over in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. Bonus issued as bonus bets. Opt-in required for odds boost. Bet type and amount limits vary. Eligibility and terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/football terms.
So, the other day, I bought an extremely chatty...
Boring story time!
Make that an extremely catty cockatoo.
You're welcome!
apparently the pet store won't take it back. But hey, I'll manage.
I love that for you.
Just like I manage without home internet.
No, you don't.
Sure, my mobile hotspot is slow and makes streaming shows unbearable.
Aw, Bertie likes to stream.
But I'm making do. Oh no, who's this?
My lady friend. It's mating season, duh.
No home internet? It's not that bad. No, not there.
It is that bad. Don't settle. Get Xfinity Home Internet for just $19.99 a month for 1 year with a free streaming box. Call, click, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. After 12 months, regular rates apply. Offer ends 2/21/23.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC part solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
It's the Red and Gold Aftermath on 95.7 The Game.
Why does Joe Montana hate Trey Lance so much? Trey Lance reminds Joe Montana of Steve Young.
That's what you think, huh?
It's PTSD.
Brought to you by Zenni, the official eyewear of the San Francisco 49ers. Shop from over 3,000 styles at 80% off retail prices. Exclusively at Zenni.com. Now, back to the pregame show on 95.7 The Game.
Welcome back. Pregame show, Joe Spadoni, a little MGMT on a Wednesday. Just waking up, just getting off work, getting ready for school, getting ready for commuting, getting ready for a trip, getting ready to do whatever you want, getting ready to get back into bed because you just had to get up to go to the bathroom real quick. Thanks for joining. 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570 is the number. Xfinity mobile text line. YouTube, hello. Twitch, hello. Twitter, @Spadoni_Joe. Hello. Thank you for joining us. LeBron James, becoming the all-time scorer in the history of the association, passing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar last night. We're talking records in sports. Your favorite record to watch, you did watch, your most unbreakable record. We're getting a lot of messages on the YouTube chat, on the Xfinity mobile text line, 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570. The morning roast, those guys are fired up. They'll be breaking that down. Also previewing tonight's matchup against the Blazers. The 49ers, they hired a new defensive coordinator, Steve Wilks. Congratulations, Steve. You know Steve, former head coach of the Arizona Cardinals. Kind of got a raw deal there. The old Josh Rosen situation. He wasn't very good. They one and done him, brought in Cliff Kingsbury, who is now gone, Kyler Murray. Then took over as interim head coach for Matt Rule last year in Carolina. Did a hell of a job. Went 6-6. Damn near won that division, which was impressive. It was a bad division. I get that. But still, almost making the playoffs as an interim head coach doesn't happen often. Happened with Rich Bisaccia last year in Vegas. Maybe they should have kept Rich. Who knows? But 49ers add a former head coach as their defensive coordinator, replacing D'Amico Ryans, who is now head coach with the Houston Texans. So good addition there. Steve Wilks, you saw how that defense in Carolina played last year. You saw them multiple times give Tom Brady the GOAT fits. And that's always a good sign, I think, when you can give a guy that's been in the league for a better part of 20 plus years fits and looks he hasn't seen before. You're doing a good job. So Steve Wilks, congratulations to him. He becomes the new defensive coordinator in Santa Clara. The Super Bowl. Yeah, we'll still talk about the Super Bowl. Got 5 days now. The road to Glendale. And the 49ers, so close. I know it's a lot of open wounds still, just even thinking about a Super Bowl, because what could have been if you're a 49ers fan, if you're a fan of Brock Purdy, if he just didn't get hurt. And we're still waiting to see what's going on there with Brock. Is he going to have the surgery? Is it going to be a Tommy John surgery? Is it going to be just the 6-month timeline that Kyle Shanahan alluded to? Still waiting to hear on that. Not sure what's going to happen there. You're hoping for the 6 months because you don't want to have to bring in a guy like Jimmy Garoppolo back. And Brian Baldinger was on the Morning Roast, and he kind of talked about that yesterday. Well, I may think about bringing back Jimmy Garoppolo. He might be your best option. And I was like, no. We can't be doing that again, Baldy. Don't you put that evil on me, Brian Baldinger. Cannot talk about the Jimmy Garoppolo drama again. Now, I think Jimmy's going to move on. But here's Brian Baldinger yesterday on the Morning Roast talking about Jimmy G potentially being the 49ers' best option as QB1 next year with the injuries to Trey Lance and Brock Purdy.
At this time last year, he was out the door, and there he was starting. And so we could go through the entire offseason again, just like you did last year, and go, in July or August, you go, he's our best option. It's possible unless some team, goes and I don't know how that whole deal would go down, but he could very well right now, Bonte, be your best option, because I think this thing with Brock Purdy is going to get really strange to me. And not strange, but just from the standpoint of, do you go get the Tommy John surgery? If you don't need Tommy John surgery, whatever method you do, whether it's rehab, a different type of surgery, does that fix it? And then if you go that method and it doesn't fix it, then you got to go do Tommy John. We've seen this happen to baseball players, Joe.
Right.
And, they end up losing 2 years.
Okay. I don't think it's happening. It sounded pretty clear-cut from Kyle Shanahan in the presser that he expects Jimmy Garoppolo to be gone. Now, we heard from the presser last year that we thought he was gone too. You heard Jimmy G saying, see it to the media. It's been a great ride. Night-night kind of a deal for Jimmy. But I do this season's different. No planned surgery for Jimmy Garoppolo that we know of on his throwing shoulder. He should get a starting job, or at least a chance to compete for a starting job somewhere around the NFL. Is that in Vegas? Is it in New York with the Jets? Is it in Washington with the Commanders? Plenty of teams need quarterbacks, and the dominoes are going to start falling here in the next coming months after the Super Bowl. We get all that. We had Derek Carr. He had a visit with the New Orleans Saints. He requested permission there from the team. The Raiders granted permission to the Saints, to Derek Carr, his rep, his team. So Derek Carr, that might be the first domino moving. Aaron Rodgers is apparently going to some darkness retreat for 4 days where there's just no light and he's just sitting in a house that is just dark. Zero Dark 30. What are we calling that? I don't know. That's a new one for me. Has anyone done that at 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570? The Darkness Retreat. Haven't heard that one before. Heard of the kind of like the sense, the sense deprivation. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but what would you like lay in the water and then you kind of zone out kind of a deal? I've heard of those things, but I've never seen or heard of a darkness retreat. Can't be good for you, right? Don't you kind of need light? Need that vitamin, A, B, C, D, whatever. Wasn't great in science. You need that vitamin, though. D. Right? So the darkness retreat for Aaron Rodgers. We'll see if he comes out and says what team he's going to want to play for. And that's what he said anyways on the Pat McAfee show, I believe. He's going to come out of that darkness retreat, and I'll know who I want to play for. All right, dude. All right. 510 Xfinity Mobile text line. Last year, wasn't it Jimmy G that made it sound like he was leaving? I feel like when Shanahan talked before Jimmy G's end of the year interview, nothing was really said. Yeah. It kind of felt like Jimmy was done, and then the surgery kind of changed everything, and then just the circumstances that kind of played itself out. It was just crazy how it went. Hey, not going to get a backup with better experience. We don't want to have two basically rookie quarterbacks with Brock Purdy and Trey Lance as our only two QBs, so let's bring back Jimmy. Trey gets hurt. Jimmy comes in. We get all that. Jimmy starts playing well with the addition of Christian McCaffrey. He gets hurt. Brock Purdy takes the league by storm, and the rest is history. Well, Brock's out. Don't know how long he's going to be out. Hoping 6 months, and he's back for week 1 of the NFL season. Trey Lance, he's going to have a great opportunity. And that's the thing. Just go with Trey Lance. Like, we don't need to overthink this. We don't need to overthink things. We don't even know what kind of player he is yet. And you invested that much draft capital in him. Let's see what the kid's got. I'm not going back to Jimmy Garoppolo at this point. We get what we got with Jimmy Garoppolo. And that was a big slab of nothing. He won an NFC championship. We thank him for his time here. Kind of changed the culture. Kind of a David Lee-esque move. If you want to make a Warriors comp. He didn't win. All right? When I saw guys like Joe Montana coming for his defense and wanting him to be the quarterback, thought it was just weird how Joe kind of sees himself in Jimmy Garoppolo and sees Trey Lance as Steve. Like, Joe, you won. You won Super Bowls. Why do you see yourself with a guy in Jimmy who never won a Super Bowl as a starting quarterback? Why do you see yourself in that guy? So that whole interview with Mike Silver I thought was odd, coming from the standpoint of, yeah, just got a guy that could win, just bring him back. Never win anything, Joe. Come on. Joe. He'll be in Arizona, I'm sure, decked out in his Chiefs gear. Can't believe that guy. Oh, I can, but something about guys winning titles with a certain squad and then not winning diddly poo with another and still claiming that other team come Super Bowl time. Kind of rubs me the wrong way, especially when you were the greatest player in a franchise's history or second 1A, 1B, Jerry Rice, Joe Montana, take your pick. But guys like Jerry and Joe Shasky, he mentions this a lot, and we'll have the cross-over next segment. Don't go anywhere. Joe Shasky of the Morning Roast joins me. But he's been on this. Jerry Rice, he's a great ambassador for the squad. He goes in there, travels with the team sometimes, goes out there in the end zone. He's decked out in his suit. He's got his GOAT fuel. He's the GOAT. He recognizes it. He warms up with the players. He tosses the pigskin around. He's a great ambassador. Montana, he's there sometimes. Yeah. Catch me at the Chiefs game, though. I'll say this for Jerry. I don't see him a lot of Raider games, and he had a still pretty good career with the Raiders. A couple of Pro Bowls and a Super Bowl appearance. So, listen. You do you, Joe, but I don't get it. I just don't get it. 888-957-9570, 888-957-9570. This is the pregame show. Joe Spadoni. Got one more segment here for you before tossing it over to Bonte Hill. And this guy joining me next, Joe Shasky, the cross-jover. Don't go anywhere, folks. 95.7 The Game.
Kate, you look amazing. Thanks. I've lost 40 pounds with Balanced Medical Solutions. They have many options, but semaglutide was a good fit for me.
What's semaglutide?
It's the new FDA-approved weight loss medication that celebrities are raving about.
Oh, yeah. Do you think it'll work for me?
You can find out during an evaluation with labs at Balanced Medical Solutions. They'll help identify the root cause of your weight gain.
I'm ready. What's their number?
510-679-3300 or visit balancedmedicalsolutions.com.
Individual results may vary.
First, we decide where we want to go. Then we need to know the best way to get there. Hi, my name's Adam Barada. I'm the owner of Advantage Gold. We're the highest rated precious metals firm in the country. We teach people how to own physical gold and silver. Now, we've won the Best of TrustLink Award 4 years in a row because we educate our clients on how to buy gold and silver the right way. We don't pay celebrity spokespeople millions of dollars. We'd rather pass that value on to you. Call 800-900-8000 and speak with one of our experts. We'll send you a free gold kit along with my latest #1 national best-selling book, The Great Devaluation. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. Get the best information, the best process, the best service, the best value. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000. Call 800-900-8000.
Advantage Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor. Consult with your financial advisor before investing.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well,
trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Toyota, the MVP of MPG. With class-leading MPG and more hybrid models than any other brand. Toyota, let's go places.
Tune in to 95.7 The Game for Warriors Live, 60 minutes before tip-off of every Warriors game. Brought to you by Xfinity. Supercharge your home with supersonic Wi-Fi. Unbeatable internet, only from Xfinity.
For all contest rules, go to 957thegame.com/rules.
Now, back to the pregame show on 95.7 The Game.
Welcome back. Pre-game show, Joe Spadoni, 95.7 The Game. One more segment before tossing over to the Morning Rose. Bonte Hill, Joe Shasky back in studio. Can't wait to hear them. Jim Zoki, Panthers radio analyst, 720. Talk about the Steve Wilkes hire and the guy they're getting in Santa Clara. Defensive coordinator, former Panthers interim head coach, and former head coach of the Arizona Cardinals. Jason Aponte, Niners Nation, 8 o'clock. And then Sam Amick to do a little trade deadline NBA talk at 8:30. Joe, welcome in. This is the Crossover. Joe Shasky joining me here. Joe Spadoni on the pregame show.
Don't you want to grow up to be just like me? Oh. And whenever I hear this song, all I think of is went over to go see Nicole, heard a knock at the door, heard it was Ron Gold. Like just the whole Ron Goldman visual.
Eminem's peak was just so dominant, dude. He was so good.
It's hard to watch him now.
It is.
It's got a Russell Wilson feel to it.
It's just, well, it's hard watching these old rap heads too just get old in general. But like Dr. Dre did, like he came out and has like, this is just where we're at. It's like a humanitarian award for the Grammys almost. Like it was the inaugural award for Dr. Dre. I was like, oh my God, he's old.
I know.
Like, what happened?
But Snoop has aged well.
Snoop has aged well, but Snoop is different because he is like a pop culture icon.
Yeah, he's become like a mascot.
Correct.
Like E40. And I don't mean that in a disparaging way.
No. But like he's a man of the people now.
Exactly.
Dr. Dre, Eminem, they were never that kind of like, they weren't those guys.
That's
Snoop,
a good point.
That's his thing.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, comedy doesn't age well. I know that. Like when you go back in time and you look at comedy, it doesn't age well. Hip hop, only a handful of guys can age well.
Yes.
Right? And I feel like Snoop has found a way to thread the needle.
Yes.
Because I still love him as much as ever.
No, I love Snoop. And Snoop, by the way, I don't know if he was courtside last night at the Crypt down at Los Angeles. I know Shannon Sharp was. I know Bad Bunny was.
Bad Bunny.
Stars were out there.
I thought Bad Bunny was a Miami Heat fan.
Dude, he's a whatever fan you want to be. He was wearing the LA hat. He was wearing the same hat he was wearing at the Grammys. I'm sure he cleaned up there very nice. Shasky.
On or off the field?
Probably both.
How's that guy doing these days?
Dude, Steiner?
Yeah.
Oh, he's doing, come on.
Yeah.
You tap into Steiny and Goo, don't you?
Not yesterday.
Guru's doing freestyle, so I know Steiny's loving that.
Heard the freestyle. Love Guru. Horrible.
Well, it made it worse because they posted it without the music.
Yes.
And I'm sure they took it off the YouTube, that's why. But it's supposed to be, I think, AT Aliens.
Gotcha.
With Outkast. So I was like,
see, I didn't see the context.
Yes. That's what.
Love them, but God.
LeBron James becoming the all-time scoring leader. Shasky. We were talking about it this morning, and how it's a hell of an accomplishment. And me and Lubman were actually talking about. I was like, how many of these records get broken in a loss? Because he reminded me. And I felt some kind of way about the team ended up losing and all the happiness still after it. Like I felt some kind of way as a fan. I was like, all right, let's enough celebrating. You lost a freaking game.
I've met a couple of Laker fans. I'd just pause you right there. I've met a couple of Lakers fans in the last 6 months. Random, out-of-state Laker fans. To a man, every single one of them, and a woman, they said, I am no longer a Laker fan while LeBron's on the team. He has hijacked the team. And that's it's very interesting to hear that.
I think if you would ask most of those fans, their favorite player was probably Kobe.
That makes sense.
That's a lot. There was a big beef there for a long time.
Sense.
Like you're either a Kobe guy or a LeBron guy.
That
now
makes
that
sense.
LeBron came to the team, it's like, you got the one bubble championship, but you haven't really done anything since then. So I get it, but no, you're not a real fan if you're just going to start rooting for the team because of one guy. Like, come on. Like, Warriors fans, you can stop rooting for the Warriors because you get LeBron freaking James? Stop it.
I mean, I'd take LeBron James. He's one of the top 10 players in the league.
Trade him right now. Don't get me started. I'd blow up the Lakers right now before the trade deadline. That's neither here nor there. All-time scoring leader. Does that have any significance to you?
No, it's an awesome record. I mean, I know for the longest time, like, Kareem's one of my dad's favorite players just because he had such a unique hook shot. We used to do it, the sky hook in the backyard all the time, right? Like, that was the move. And even as a young man, I would do left-handed or right-handed sky hooks. That was my horse shot for years, that either you got it in the bag or you don't, right? And so Kareem is I think he's one of the most underappreciated players in sports. Very similar to Hank Aaron. It felt like we were late coming to the party to celebrate the man's career. And similar to Hank Aaron, I know Kareem was, I would say, his zenith was more recognized in his sport than maybe Hank Aaron's, because Hank Aaron's was like the model of consistency. Yeah. But I see similarities in the two in that, it felt like we didn't give them their flowers in real time until it was almost too late and they were old men. And it almost feels like sad to me. Like, I feel bad for Kareem.
No, it's a good point. And you just look at the accolades. Like, there's an argument, and you said our dad's like kind of like era. Like, absolutely. Like, he could be the greatest player in the history of the NBA.
You know what you should do?
Go by like 6-time NBA champion, 2-time Finals MVP, 6-time MVP, 19-time All-Star, 10 times All-NBA first team.
And he aged well.
Yes.
For a player like in his late 30s in that time, in that frame, for him to continue to be a very impactful player. Joe, here's the other thing.
And off the court, too, his impact. Social justice, absolutely.
I mean, and I think in many ways, because he's opinionated, he was a pariah, which is so ridiculous if you think about it.
Yes.
But that's more indication of why we need to appreciate these people. Nothing drives me crazier than we wait till someone passes away to give them their flowers, their love, their appreciation. It really drives me nuts because these people deserve it. They deserve the recognition. One thing that I would suggest anyone who's too young, go down the rabbit hole. Wilt versus Kareem YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
It's unreal.
It's pretty cool.
It will give you a greater appreciation. Now, Wilt's old man Wilt in these.
Yes.
And you still walk away going, oh, my God. I didn't realize how athletic these two were in their primes.
Well, this is old man Wilt, too, during that era where he's just getting... Russell's gone.
He looks 60.
Yeah, and Russell's gone. So this looks like, in Wilt's mind, like, you know what? No, this is my time.
Yes.
Like, Russell was blocking me all those years. I'm the head honcho. Now we got this young kid, this young buck, pun intended, because he's a Milwaukee Buck. But we got this young guy, Kareem. Like, who's this kid?
I know.
And he's just going toe-to-toe with him, not backing down. Pretty incredible.
And in the era of crying over every rule and making us change every rule, Kareem couldn't dunk, so he had to come up with something because they had outlawed the dunk for quite some time, and he had to come up with unstoppable moves. Like, think about, had Shaq, and we all love Shaq, had Shaq crafted his game the way Kareem did, imagine.
Kareem tried to help Shaq multiple times. He tried to be like, dude, if you do like certain, like,
I'll
show you these couple moves, and you will be unstoppable and the greatest player in the history of the NBA.
And that's part why, like, I appreciate Kareem. And I know Pete Rose. When you say the name Pete Rose, people instantly get triggered for a variety of reasons. Think about how these guys well-oiled their craft to perfection over years and years and years, and it feels like the nuanced player like that. I know Curry and all these guys are amazing. I'm not saying that they're not. But what I'm saying is, like, these dudes were amazing in their era to go through that and to create a play, the skyhook, that's unstoppable.
Yes.
Literally unstoppable.
Literally unstoppable. And no one's done it since him.
No one.
That's the craziest thing. And then look now, it's a 3-point shot.
Jokic has some of those moves, but not to that degree.
Not to that degree.
I love watching Jokic.
That's the craziest thing, Shasky, is Kareem in his career hit one NBA three-pointer.
It's
one.
It's insane.
He's 1 for 18. And then you look at LeBron, he has like 6,000 of his career points or whatever, 6,000 plus have been from beyond the arc. And it's just unbelievable. And listen, we'll give LeBron his flowers a little bit. I get a lot of hate. It's the Warriors flagship. How dare. It's like, it's the biggest story in sports last night. One of the biggest sports storylines all season long. It was the LeBron chase. Didn't see Draymond, by the way. You see Draymond in the courtside?
Was he there?
I don't know. Was he?
I don't care. Like I'm not trying to be mean. Like Andre Iguodala went to Torrey Pines on a Sunday morning one time.
Well, they're home. It's like they're homies, so it's like it's fun. I just wanted to see him courtside. I thought it would just be funny. Him and Shannon just chopping it up, stuff like that. Talk about two guys that I wanted in the room together. I mean, Shannon Sharp and Draymond Green.
And him podcasting in half court. It was phenomenal.
It was phenomenal.
You know, Draymond. You know, it's me. Phenomenal. It's a mic drop moment. What is everyone going to do today? What are the unbreakable sports records?
I was doing that for a little bit. Just I liked people hearing some people. I always forget about some, so I have people like text them in.
Can I give you two?
Yes.
First one, 274. Joe, what's 274? Consecutive games with one catch, Jerry Rice.
Wow. It's pretty incredible.
I think the closest is 211, Larry Fitzgerald, but I could be wrong. 274. I have that on the back of a T-shirt. The other one, 511. Nobody's touching Cy Young's record.
No, he also has like 724 complete games. Like, what the hell?
I know. Well, but it's also a completely different era.
Yeah, here's some of them. I got, Ricky Henderson, career stolen bases, 1,406.
Ricky, I mean.
No one's touching that. Michael Phelps, 28 Olympic medals, like unreal. Cal Ripken Jr., there's another one, 2,632 consecutive games played. Matt Olson is the active leader at 296.
Yeah, it's just not going to happen.
It's just not going to happen. Like certain things, like
especially when they reduce the schedule, which is coming.
Correct. Like the craziest one, like we just talk about like GOATs that we kind of take for granted. Like Wayne Gretzky, if you just take away all of his goals scored, he would still lead the NHL in total points on assists alone.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
1,963.
It's pretty crazy.
It's wild. Like it's wild. Stuff like that. And I was talking about here in the Bay Area, we are so spoiled with generational talents. Barry Bonds.
Yep.
Jerry Rice. Ricky Henderson. Steph Curry. Like those are just name a few. I'm sure I'm forgetting some of them, but those are guys that just break records like left and right. And just appreciating guys like that, and that was the overall sentiment. Appreciate LeBron. What he's doing this season's incredible. They might not make the playing game, and that would suck because when he's in the playoffs and the Lakers are in the playoffs, it's good for the product.
Joe,
it's just they're wasting it.
Joe,
they're wasting
when
it.
you hear old people this day, like anytime, like for example, and I see it right here from the 408, this person's always there. MJ, he's the greatest player of all time. We weren't even talking about greatest player of all time. We're just talking about scoring and the longevity and things that go into that. Like, you know, but the MJ heads, what's funny to me is I remember in real time, and I was one of them, I was fatigued by Jordan. I wasn't a Bulls fan, all right? I wanted Phoenix to win because I loved Barkley at the time. A lot of kids loved Barkley, and I loved Danny Ainge and stuff like that. I wanted Utah to win because I loved Karl Malone. You know, I wanted the Sonics to win because I loved Sean Kemp and John Stockton. I freely admit, I was a Jordan, not hater, but like fatigued off Jordan. I wanted someone else to win. It's the same thing when the Yankees were winning forever. I wanted someone else to win. And so it's funny to me how he retires, and now everybody universally loves Jordan. And I'm not saying that he wasn't loved. He was loved. But there was a lot more Jordan fatigue at the end than I think people are remembering now in retrospect.
It's similar to, I think, how a lot of people felt about Tiger Woods early on in his career, just dominating so much. And then the scandal happened. You know what?
The John Feinsteins.
Oh, you know what? This is my chance to just ruin this guy, crush this guy. And now we all learn from that documentary that kind of an effed up life. And maybe you should have a little more sympathy for people in those kind of situations. Not saying he didn't make his own bed and he had to lay in it. He did.
But you're a product of your environment.
You're a product of your environment,
raised.
and you know what? It's a personal thing. Personal life stuff happens.
His dad
happens.
His dad had a lot of demons.
Very yikes.
You know, and I think anyone who's listening can relate on both ends, whether it's you the one with the demons on your children or vice versa.
But then Tiger Woods, as his career went on, now we love a comeback story, right?
Of course.
Everyone's cheering for
contrition.
Exactly, right? So it's like, like Michael Vick, another one. So yeah, so like stuff like that happens. You start getting more and more appreciative of these guys as their years go on. Just appreciate what LeBron's doing this season. 38 years old, this guy, and people were asking me, "Spadoni, do you think he's going to break the records?" But I was like, maybe he'll break it again in Milwaukee. Like it'll be cool against Giannis. Against Giannis.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Where Kareem's career started, but he wasn't letting that happen. LeBron was like, "No, we're breaking the record tonight." And that's the thing with the greats; they could score 40 every night. Steph, that he could score 40 every single night if he wanted to. It wouldn't be sustainable, but like the greats like that can do it and just switch or flip the switch like that. I envy that kind of stuff. Like because if I could have a flip to switch and be like a greatest radio host I could be constantly, I can turn this on and off. But
Joey, I call it a genius. Like you are a genius at what you do.
Right?
Yeah, you're like a genius at what you do. Like I think of someone like Derrick Henry. Like he's a running back genius. You could say Joey won the genetic lottery. There's been a lot of guys who are maybe not a lot, but there have been people who have been his height, weight, speed, who don't play running back, who don't have the vision, toughness.
Watch the combine this year and all the physical freaks that they say are going to be drafted just because their physical skill sets alone fizzle out immediately.
I mean, look, Javon Kinlaw is an example. Like, I look at him, when you stand next to him, he's as big and as strong and as cut as anyone on the Niners. Yeah. And then you watch him, and you're like, he just doesn't have it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But
Obi Melifonwu was a guy,
Exactly. But there are certain people that have what I call genius qualities. Yeah. And LeBron, as much as you might hate him for all the off-the-court stuff or the way that he conducts his business as a team player, you can hate him for those things. His genius on the court, come on.
Yeah.
You got to give it to him.
The vision.
And if you love hoops.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And then, like I've been watching this guy. It's going to suck because Tom Brady's retired.
Hey, Sam.
Hey, Sammy. There you go. Sam, by the way, booked a hell of a show for you guys. That's Joe Shasky. He's joining Bonta Hill next. Jim Zoki, Panthers radio analyst, 720. Jason Aponte, Niners Nation, 8 o'clock. Sam Amick, 8:30. That's coming up next. The Morning Roast. Joe Shasky is back, ladies and gentlemen. Coming up next.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM at HD1 San Francisco. An Odyssey station.
Walking into the building for the first time after the shooting, it was crippling, but it had to be preserved.
In response to the Pulse nightclub shooting that affected the LGBTQ community, Barbara Poma, owner of Pulse,